Welcome back to an uninteresting video of an uninteresting clone, except this one's a little bit interesting, so stick around. This claims that it is a Nokia phone and that it's an N99i, back when the N series was the big thing and we didn't know what Nokia was going to release next, and well, the Chinese decided, well, we'll just go along with it and make our own sort of abomination, and here it is. At the top you can see N99i. It's a little bit hard to see because it's faded off quite a lot. Nokia and Bluetooth. There is the screen there, which is probably about a 2.4-inch display, I would say. It says TV mobile right here, and here is the keypad, which is just odd. It is really, really tiny. I mean, it's usable, but yeah, star and hash are over here instead of there. I don't know, it's a weird layout. Around the phone is practically nothing, it's just all dull, plain stuff. We have some buttons here. We have a camera button here, and the volume rockers are all integrated into one. Charger port, once again, is one of those weirdo chargers, which I just don't have anymore. And the little charger port flap is missing. There's also a stylus just here, which we can rip out, and that's what it looks like. Nothing interesting. And we have a lanyard bit here at the top. Don't know why you'd carry this around your neck, but okay. Now we get into the more interesting details. We have a camera at the back here, which is just called a digital camera, with a little selfie mirror, but you can't even see anything in that, so anyways. Digital life, 2 speakers presumably. We will have to test that. And down here, it's all rubbed off, but you can see super mobile. Oh, okay, so it says DV phone, game, MP3 and MP4, I would say, and looks like a headphone jack just there. Okay, so not that interesting as of yet. Let's check inside the cover. Come on. Here's the battery pack for a V400. It's a 1000 milliamp hour battery. Do not incinerate, do not disassemble, do not short circuit, use specified charger only, and I didn't do that at all. Meaning I just used my little charger pack thingy. It works. So inside the phone here, it says that it is a best D2000 Plus GSM GPRS digital mobile phone with the IMEI. Who cares? It's actually just a single SIM model, not a dual SIM, which is a bit of a first for a clone. You'd think they'd have dual SIM, but no, it's just one SIM. I've got a 256 meg micro SD card installed, so I can test rip and tear. Now you can see that I've actually modified this slightly because I couldn't get these to charge at first. I shoved a Nokia battery in here and it worked. But since I have that little charger thing, I can just slip it in and it works fine. So what's the big fuss? An uninteresting clone? Well, I have 2 of the bastards. This one here is a little bit tattered. The buttons are pretty much scratched up. There's all scratches in the screen. The Nokia sort of labeling is gone from this, but it does say Bluetooth, as you can see. Camera button, volume buttons, everything else is practically the same. The back offers nothing different. There's a crack in the camera lens, but that doesn't really matter. Super mobile, all that rubbed off there, but that doesn't matter. And inside here, it is exactly the same. Well, this sticker's a little bit different, but there you go. Once again, 256 meg SD card is installed, and it is only a single SIM. So both of these phones are touchscreen, and I have had a look at them very briefly, and they're exactly the same. There's no differences whatsoever, so I'll try and power them up at the exact same time. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to warn you. It's a little bit loud. Right, so this is going to be a first for me, trying to use 2 phones at the same time. This isn't going to work well, is it? Basically, as I said, they're exactly the same. So let's just quickly go through the settings and stuff. So AV zone, we have analog TV, which, once again, I can't pick up any frequencies in Australia, so I'll have to give that a miss. FM radio, camera, which we will try in a minute. Video recorder, video player, and audio player, which is going to be very important, but we'll come back to that. Phone book, well, there's nothing really to see in phone book apart from just a bunch of settings. Multimedia, let's go into multimedia. Image viewer and sound recorder is all we get for multimedia, which is absolutely not important. File manager gets to see the memory card and the phone. It looks like 760k of memory in both phones, with this one being 655k free and this one 72k free. So, yeah, okay. Fun and games. Let's have a look at fun and games. Usually the same games are preloaded on these, which is just average games. They use the same Java operating system as with other clones that I've tested. They're just all the same. But let's try classic games. Yes, they're exactly the same, which we have Mahjong, start game. Fantastic. Puzzle is the Mona Lisa thing, I would say. Yes, it is. Hey, it's different. Well, that was slightly interesting, wasn't it? And Magic Sushi, which is the usual. Oh, I didn't realize the sound actually keeps going. Okay, enough of that. Game setting, which is just like the sound effects and stuff. Yeah, game vibration is there, but then it's not there. But there's the same phone. I swear they're the same phone. Themes, we can change the theme, but there's no point in showing the themes. User profiles, we can change your profile to be general, meeting, outdoor, yada yada yada, like all Nokia phones and Samsung phones and all that stuff back in the day. Organizer, to probably tell me when I've got to do this and do that. Yep, to-do list. What's in the to-do list? Empty and Melbourne. I don't live there. Bluetooth, pen calibration, extra. What's an extra? Calculator, unit converter, currency converter, health, ebook reader, and Bluetooth, which is just, yeah, the usual standard stuff. And settings is pen calibration, phone setup, security setup, restore factory setting, and sound effect, and there's nothing. That's it. Using the volume rockers on the side, you can change the volume of the if it works. You can change the volume of the phones, same as this one here. So let's go ahead and try the camera on this one, because this one has a cracked lens. Wait, is it this one or is it that one? I've already gotten confused, but anyways, let's test it. And here's a testing of the video recorder. My computer as per usual. Very washed out colours, I would say, but there you go. I can't comment on the camera quality as per yet, because I haven't had a look at it. It doesn't look good. I don't think I'll ever find a clone from this sort of time era that's going to record anything decent. Even 480p would be great, but that's asking a little bit too much. So I think the next thing we have to do is test the speakers. Now, this is where things get a little bit different. So let's go into AV zone, where we should be able to find our audio player. Yeah, there we go. Also, try using two phones at the same time. I mean, I know they're identical, but it's hurting my head a little bit. Now, I will warn you right now that this is going to be very, very loud. And we're going to test how loud it is, because I have my decibel meter right near me. So let's go ahead and play Rip and Tear. Holy sh**. I am deaf from that. Well, there you go. What did that get to? That got to like 108 decibels, I think. That was loud. That was really, really loud. And I'm going to confirm that there is 2 speakers in each device, which is ridiculous. Now that I've tested the sound, I've tested the camera, and I've had a look at the basic functionality of both phones, and yeah, they're exactly the same. They don't offer anything relatively special over any other clone. I think the next best thing is to actually tear these down and see what's inside of them, because I'm always interested to see what processor it's running, how much memory it actually has, how much RAM, storage wise, etc, etc. It's always interesting just to see, and if they've got, you know, any special things on the motherboard that might be interesting to have a look at. So I'm going to go ahead and tear down, which one am I going to tear down, the Nokia one or the non-Nokia one? Let's tear down, I'll decide. And they just shut down just like that. Nice and quick. Alright, let's tear down one of them and see what's inside of it. And look at this, 2 speakers. So these were the speakers driving all of that madness. There you go, quite interesting. Some little contact pins on the board there, U808MB version 0.1, obviously. Alright, let's keep tearing it down and see what else I can find. And just pulled off the metal shielding just to reveal 2 chips, which is a ARM MediaTek CPU, and this should be a flash module, probably a 128 megabit or something, not too sure, we'll have to check it out. And this unit is one big assembly as well, so, and these are both soldered straight into the motherboard, so ripping this off any further, I could potentially pull both of these out and I don't want to have to resolder them. What can I say about these phones? Well, back in the day, those speakers would have been considered extremely good. They're not the clearest speakers in the world, but they're pretty loud for what they are. Otherwise, these are just generic clones that were sold back in, I'm not sure which date, I'll have to look it up. But this was the Chinese take on the N99i that never came out and looks like, I don't even know if they even had a prototype for it or anything like that. I have no idea, so I will splice in any additional information. Also, the specs for this one are going to be listed right here. I'll try to list everything I can, and you can read through it or you can just skip through it, whatever. And that's it. The fake N99i, which never existed and doesn't exist, but the Chinese made it, so it does exist. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got some more clones to have a look at, and I'm trying to find some on eBay to also have a look at, which I will get around to. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Comment below if you would like to see more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.